welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel, welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Bree, aka the Booktrovert here on YouTube, and today I'm very excited. We have the April Book of the Month books to go over this morning. I know I missed March, but I did show you my March picks in my last video, so go check that out if you haven't already. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the selections and see what we're gonna get. Alright, so we have the April books here. It looks like we've got 5 selections. So we have a Book of the Month exclusive. It says only available at Book of the Month. You won't find it anywhere else in the US or Canada. This is a literary fiction called The Sun Was Electric Light by Rachel Morton. We also have a romance called The Passion Project, which is a debut. Oh, this is also a debut. So I'm seeing lots of debuts. By London Sperry. We have, as you can see, I've already kind of picked my Book of the Month. This was a very easy month for me to pick. But anyways, moving on. We have another Book of the Month exclusive. It says read it before it hits other bookstores on April 22nd. This is a mystery called Every Sweet Thing is Bitter by Samantha Crewson. We have a contemporary fiction called The Griffin Sisters' Greatest Hits by Jennifer Weiner. And then we have a historical fiction called 6 Days in Bombay by Alka Joshi. And then if you're not interested in any of those books, you can always choose a member fave. I think once you hit your 3rd box and you become a friend, you can choose a member fave. So the member faves this month are Shark Heart, which is one of my favorite books from Book of the Month, by Emily Habbock, Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson, This Spells Love by Kate Robb, None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, another really good one, Black Cake as well, another really good one, and A Song to Drown Rivers by Anne Liang. So those are actually some pretty good member faves if you haven't read any of them, or you can always skip the month and not get charged. So let's go through these. You can already see what I chose for my Book of the Month, but we'll still go through these and then look at the add-ons, because the add-ons I have some thoughts on. So The Sun Was Electric Light, a poignant I don't know how to say that word. Poignant meditation on friendship, found family, and how to move through the world when you've lost your way. Kindly note this book is highbrow, which I found to mean it's more literary, like it's more, he uses bigger words. Only available at Book of the Month. You won't find it elsewhere in the US or Canada, which is very interesting. I don't know why that is, but okay, good to know. So it's LGBTQ plus themed, cerebral, international, and serious. Here's the synopsis if you want to pause and read. I'm not going to read it just because it takes forever. And the content warnings. This book contains mentions of suicidal ideation. So there's the first book. Then we have Passion Project by London Sperry, which is a romance and a debut. And this is the one I actually picked because this sounds so good and I'm obsessed with the cover. Quick take, an adventurous romance about finding love when you least expect it, set against the backdrop of bustling Manhattan. I'm sorry if I keep looking that way. There's literally a squirrel just like running back and forth in front of our driveway. Anyways, squirrel. Yeah, okay. Good to knows are its inspirational female friendships, salacious in New York City. Here's the synopsis if you want to pause and read. And it doesn't look like Book of the Month included any content warnings. Then we have a mystery called Every Sweet Thing is Bitter by Samantha Crewson. This is another debut and an early release, so I love that they're doing more debuts. I really do. Quick take is 13 years ago she almost killed her mother. Now she's trying to save her, but is it already too late? This is an early release, so you can read it before it hits other bookstores on the 22nd. Good to know are its slow build, LGBTQ plus themed, salacious, and graphic violence. Here's the synopsis, and this book does contain scenes depicting self-harm, child abuse, and domestic violence, as well as mentions of sexual assault. So that sounds very heavy. Okay, then we have our 4th book, The Griffin Sisters' Greatest Hits by Jennifer Weiner, contemporary fiction. Quick take is life-shattering fame, forbidden love, and a contentious relationship between pop star sisters. What could go wrong? Good to know are it's a love triangle. Oh, a love triangle between sisters. That's got to be something. Salacious, music, and 2000s. I love this little Y2K that they did. Side note, love that early 2000s is coming back because that was my prime. Like, I love, like, I wish, I don't know. I love it so much. The fashion, the pop stars, the electronics, everything. I loved all of it. Okay. Okay. Moving on. Here's a synopsis if you want to pause to read. And it doesn't look like they have any content warnings for this one. From Book of the Month. As always, please look up your own content warnings. Just because Book of the Month doesn't post them doesn't mean that they're not going to contain content that is not considered graphic, or just do your own research too. Then we have a historical fiction called 6 Days in Bombay by Alka Joshi. Quick take is it is a young nurse travels the world in a quest to unravel a series of intertwining mysteries and clear her own name. Also, this cover is really pretty too. Good to knows are it's family drama, puzzle, international, and movie-ish. That's cool. Here's the synopsis, and the content warnings say that the book contains mentions of miscarriage and domestic abuse. So definitely, you know, if you are sensitive to any of those, be careful. Alright, so those are our 5 picks. So as you know, I said it before, I chose the romance, The Passion Project by London Sperry. So let's go to All Books and look at the new and recent add-ons. So we have, it looks like quite a few. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new add-ons this month. So let's go over them. We have A Fantasy, Gifted and Talented by Olive E. Blake, which is very interesting. I am very curious about this. I looked up the reviews on Goodreads, and so far it is at a 4-star or over 4-star, I can't remember, but they seem to be good. The way that this is being described is like Succession, the TV show, meets like magic, I think. I've never seen Succession, but that's what I've heard. Quick take, you can have all the money and magic in the world and still mess things up in this fantastical family drama. Good to knows are it is over 400 pages, so she's a chunker. Multiple viewpoints, LGBTQ plus themes, and salacious. Here is the synopsis if you want to pause and read, and as you can see, I did already add this to my box. And as for content warnings, this book contains mentions of eating disorders. Then we have Fun for the Whole Family by Jennifer E. Smith, which is a contemporary fiction. This is giving like Cheaper by the Dozen vibes to me. I know there's not as many kids, but like it just, I don't know what it is. Okay. Quick take, there's nothing like a good old family reunion based in a remote location after years of estrangement. Am I right? Am I right? Good to know is it's emotional, fast read, family drama, and siblings. Here's the synopsis if you want to pause and read. No content warnings from Book of the Month. Then we have Retreat by Kristen Ritter. I actually really like Kristen Ritter as an actress. I had no idea that she wrote books. But this is a thriller. I am getting this one from the library though because I've never read anything by her and I just want to, you know, make sure I like it before. I'm also not a huge fan of this cover, but regardless. Quick take is it's a sharp-witted scam artist falls into a mess of mistaken identities in this cunning thriller from Kristen Ritter. Good to know is it's fast read, action-packed, international, and it has graphic violence. Here's the synopsis if you want to pause and read, and I'm very surprised that there are no content warnings, but again, do your own research on that. Then we have an add-on that I'm sure a lot of people are very happy about, including myself, because I like having matching sets. This is Enchantra by Kaylee Smith, who wrote Phantasma. I almost said Paranorman, which no, absolutely not. This is a paranormal romance. If you add this book to your box will ship between 4/7 and 4/8. As you can see, I already added it, so my box won't ship until later, but that's okay. This cover is absolutely stunning. Quick take, it's kill demons or get killed in the sadistically fun follow-up to Phantasma featuring a dark game of hide and seek. Ooh, that sounds good. Good to know is it's over 400 pages, so another chunky book. Graphic violence, second in a series, and extra spicy. So you can go ahead and pause and read. I'm not going to read it because I have not read Phantasma yet, but I know that a lot of people have been giving it like 5 stars, so I'm very excited to get to it. And again, no content warnings. Very interesting. Then we have Water Baby, which is a contemporary fiction and an early release. So this book doesn't hit bookstores until April 22nd. This is by Chioma Okereke. Okereke. I'm probably butchering that. I'm very sorry. Quick take. A young Nigerian woman must choose between her community and her own ambitions in this atmospheric coming-of-age tale. Good to know, so it's inspirational, international, underdog, and nature. Here's the synopsis if you want to pause and read. And again, no content warnings. Then we have The Bright Years by Sarah DeMoff, which is a contemporary fiction, a debut, and an early release. So this one, again, won't hit bookstores until the 22nd of April. In this heart-wrenching story, a family plagued by secrets struggles to reconcile and risks falling apart for good. Good to know are its multiple viewpoints, non-linear timeline, marriage issues, drug and alcohol use. Sorry. Here's the synopsis if you want to pause and read. This is a short little synopsis. And the content warnings say this book contains scenes that depict a miscarriage, domestic abuse, and eating disorders, as well as mentions of suicidal ideations. This is a very heavy book as well. Then the last add-on we have is Sky Daddy, which this I have looked at, and this is very interesting for Book of the Month to offer. But this is a literary fiction debut as well. Lots of debuts. I love that. By Kate Folk. Quick take. Buckle your seatbelts and expect some turbulence in this zany story about a frequent flyer and her curious obsession. It says things could get weird. This book is experimental, which I, after reading the synopsis, would 100% agree with. Good to know are its LGBTQ plus themes, quirky, LOL, and salacious. Here's the synopsis. I highly recommend pausing and reading. It is very interesting. And the content warnings are mentions of suicidal ideation. So those are all of our picks this month. I will go ahead and show you my box just because... Okay, so this is not finalized. I'm actually planning on waiting until tomorrow to finalize this because Aardvark comes out tomorrow and I want to see what they're coming out with. But I do think I am going to end up, like, I know I'm going to pick Passion Project as my book of the month. As for my add-ons, I have been hearing really, really great things about Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Stone, so I wanted to add that because I really enjoyed Ready or Not by Cara Stone. It's not in here, it's on my book of the month bookshelves, but I really enjoyed that and I've heard really, really great things about this one. Also really want to add Enchantra because, again, I have the book, I plan on reading it really soon, and all of the early reviews are saying that's really good. It also sounds really right up my alley. Gifted and Talented, I want to get because it's only $12 for an add-on through Book of the Month, and I am interested in reading it, and the wait time at my library is ridiculous. And then I also added The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager, which I might actually end up removing. Yeah, I'm going to remove this. I'm just going to get this like closer to the summer because this is the only Riley Sager book that I haven't read. I may add this when his new book comes out, if they have it. So I am actually going to remove that. Okay, that is my picks for Book of the Month, but I want to talk to you a little bit more about this. So, give me 1 second. Okay, let's get a little up close and personal. I'm quite disappointed in Book of the Month this month. As you guys know, I'm all here for debuts. I think they did a fantastic job at putting a lot of debuts on Book of the Month, which is something that's really important, obviously. Like, you don't want just a ton of like really well-known authors. However, for their add-ons, I am highly, highly disappointed that they did not include the new Abby Jimenez book because they have included all of her other books. I'm highly disappointed they did not include The Sirens by Amelia Hart, which is another new book from a author that they have featured before. And I want to say there's something else, but I can't remember what it is. Anyways, that was really disappointing to me, especially because I'm somebody who does tend to like to have matching books. And I will say, I'm a little nervous about getting Enchantra and getting other books in a series from Book of the Month because A, they just don't continue them, which is very strange to me, and B, I thankfully was not one of the people that ordered this book. I purchased it myself from Barnes & Noble, but the Legendborn series, they have offered all 3, but I have seen pictures of people who've gotten the books and they're all different sizes, and that really bothers me. And I know this is trivial, I know this is very like, just, it doesn't matter, but I feel like if you're paying for a service, they should at least do that, you know? Anyways, that is my take on this month's Book of the Month. I am very upset about the Abby Jimenez book. I love Abby Jimenez. I was very excited about that being an add-on, and to see it's not here is very upsetting, but again, it's trivial. I can just go to the bookstore and buy it, which I will end up doing because it is our book club book of the month for Host for Pros for April. But anyways, overall, still very happy with the selections. I think they could have done a lot better of a job this month, but it is what it is. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes. I still think Book of the Month is a great deal. I think that they have a lot to offer. And yeah, I am not sponsored by Book of the Month, by the way. They don't know that I exist, except for my membership, but I'm sure there's hundreds and thousands of people who have a Book of the Month membership. So just want to let you know that all of these videos are my own thoughts, they're my own opinions. I pay for these books with my own money. The only time I ever get a free book is if you guys sign up. You get your $5 book, your first book for $5, and I get a free credit. That's literally the only way I've ever gotten a free book from Book of the Month, other than just their typical membership, including a free book for your birthday and a free Book of the Year book. But yeah, I don't think Book of the Month even knows I exist, so I just want to get that out in the open. Also, I have a video that I am currently editing that was supposed to go up last week. I'm trying to do 1 video a week because I think I can handle that. However, this is a little bit more of a tricky video, so I still have a little bit of editing to do with it, so that will also be up this week. So this week you'll be getting 2 videos instead of 1. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already. Let me know what book you chose, or if you're waiting for Aardvark as well. I think Aardvark's gonna have some pretty good choices this month from what I've seen. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys!